So in the previous lesson we took a look at the case sensitivity as far as commands are concerned, and now in this lesson what I really want to focus in on is concatenating objects. And so what that really means is kind of adding or combining objects together to be one thing. So for instance, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the things that I have. And now this is some code that I had from the previous lesson. And what I want to work with is, you can notice it mostly here with numbers of numeric data types, which I've got I've got an integer here, and I've got my floating point number right there. Now if I want to combine the numbers, and I don't mean combine in the sense of add them together, but show both of those numbers within one echo statement, I can do that here. For instance, if I wanted to show the 80 and the 40, what I could do is I can go ahead and if I typed in plus, in some languages that are out there for programming languages, you can concatenate with a plus. That's going to mean addition, like add the two numbers together, and that's not what I want to have happen. What I want to have happen is I want to combine it so it shows both of them. So what I'm going to use is what's called the period, and that's going to be the concatenating symbol here for PHP. And I'll go ahead and use the $sign now and do the capital HORS. And you're going to see it's going to take this 40, or this one's here 80. This is 80. And it's going to combine with it 40. So let's go ahead and save it and refresh it. And you'll see that it went ahead and put the 40 right next to it. Now usually when we concatenate things, you really have to be kind of careful with spacing. And so a lot of people, and a lot of times you'll see the code where you'll have the dot, and we'll add to it a quote, space, quote, and then we'll go ahead and put another dot. And so what we're saying is concatenate, or add to it, a space, and we'll use spaces. We're going to have to use a space as a string because that's the object or data type that we can actually work with for spaces. So let's go ahead now and save it, and you'll see that it takes both 80, puts a space in there, and 40. And so when we want to combine objects, we need to use this concatenating symbol. We can concatenate a lot of different things, a lot of strings, objects, data types, whatever we're working with, we can go ahead and concatenate. So let's go ahead and just write a statement here, and we'll concatenate a lot of these things together. We'll just go ahead and put echo, and I'm going to go ahead and put name first, so I'll just put $sign name, and notice that I have it here in double quotes. Whenever we work with variables, you can go ahead and place the variable within a double quote, and it's going to read the actual value of the variable rather than $sign name. So let's go ahead, I'm going to put $sign name, and we're going to go ahead now and say, let's see, earned, and I'll go ahead and put a space there, and I'll end that quote. And so I've got, it'll say Matthew Penning earned space. Now let's go ahead and add to it the $sign hours times $sign rate, and then I'm going to go ahead and end that, and let's go ahead and save it and refresh it over here, and you can see that I've got an error. And let me point out where the error is. Line 25, let's go to find line 25, there's an error, and our error is the fact that, there it is, if you take a look at this particular statement, it didn't end in a semicolon. So you'll find that happen a lot within code. Let me go ahead and save that and refresh it. There we go. So now you can see Matthew Penning earned 820, and that's all we have here. Let's go ahead and also put in there a break tag. So I'm going to echo a break tag here. There we go. And that'll go ahead and put the space there. I'll save it and refresh it. You can see my code is now changed. Matthew Penning earned 820. Now we want to have a dollar symbol in front of that. So if you look here, what I could do is name earned, and I'll go ahead and put a $sign before the ending of that quote, and save it. Refresh it. Now you can see it earned the $sign there, or it added the $sign. So Matthew Penning earned $820. Let's go ahead and put another echo statement below it, and I'm going to go ahead and put in there working, and I'll put a space so that there's a space in my word, and add to it the hours, and I'll just go ahead and add to that a space, the word hours itself, and I'll go ahead and end that with a semicolon. So let me go ahead and save it and refresh it, and you can see working 40 hours. And of course I need the break tag. So now that we are familiar with the concatenating symbol, we can concatenate in, so I'll just go ahead and do that, a break tag. So I'll go ahead and put BR, there we go, and then that with this double quotes. And so I've just concatenated in the break tag. So if I hit save and refresh, now you can see that it wrapped it around by adding in the break tag there within my concatenating. So Matthew Penning earned $800 working 40 hours. And so you can work with this all you want and kind of mess around with things and see how it works, but the symbol to remember is this period will combine different data types or strings or whatever object you're working with, and it doesn't do any addition. What it does is it takes that value and then appends it to the value you had before it. So this concludes the video on concatenating data types within PHP.